This is the Draft Guys podcast with Peyton and Niko, and we welcome you back to the pod. And today, man, it's a special day. I always say that, but we are redrafting the 2025 NFL Draft. I am your host, Niko Chambers. Niko, the Draft Guy, you can call me. Alongside my co-host is P Dunn. P Dunn, what's up, man?
What's up, bro? I'm excited for this one. This is going to be fun. We're getting into some, different stuff here. We've talked about it before, opening up the type of videos we're doing, and we're getting into a fun one today. This is a little bit different than some stuff we've done before, but I'm really, really excited for this one.
Yeah, so we're just going to redraft the 2025 NFL Draft. We feel like it's a good time to do it after the first year of their contracts are now up and over. And yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to do a joint mock draft today. What are we going to do?
Do you want odds? Do you want evens? That's the question.
I'll do the odds.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. So you
Yeah.
get the big choice at one. You get
I
the
do get the big choice of one, and that'll take us in to what it is. And it's going to be the Titans on the board. We talk about it all the time. And man, who can I pick with this first pick? Do I go Cam Ward? I don't think that Cam Ward is better than Jackson Dart. And the Titans, if Cam Ward was not on the roster, would really, really, really need a quarterback. So yeah, that's going to be me. I'm just going to pick Jackson Dart, number one overall quarterback. I think he deserves it. I think after the year he had, um, really, he's going to be a great quarterback for the New York Giants. But he's a Tennessee Titan in this draft. So yeah, we're just going to move right on. Jackson Dart, number one overall pick to the Tennessee Titans.
So I'm going to take the guy that I would have taken at one because I would have taken Cam Ward at one. I would have taken, and I'm going to take Cam Ward at two. I think if I like this in a redraft format, if we went back even after the years everybody had, he probably had the third best year out of all the rookie quarterbacks behind Chuck and Dart. I still have I think he has the most upside out of those three, and I trust his development. I trust him to be franchise quarterback. I'm going to take Ward here at two to the Browns, who absolutely need a quarterback, and the Shador and Gabriel experience did not work out. They need a quarterback in this instance, and they've got a really good one at Ward.
All day long. That'll move us in to the New York Giants. And man, what do the Giants need? They need a lot, I feel like. They really can't go wrong with any of these guys. I see Ted on the board, and I'm definitely tempted by Ted and what he could bring. Um, technically, if Abdul Carter's not on the team, they still need an edge. So I'm definitely tempted to take him. I think I'm going to take Ted McMillan. I think that pairing him with
Yeah.
Neighbors, obviously, you don't know what's going to happen with the Neighbors injury. But yeah, why not? Let's get whoever
You're
there.
not
It's
going to
not
take
Jackson
Chuck?
Dart anymore. No, I'm not.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
absolutely
Absolutely not.
not. Wow.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Uh, Shuck number three, no. No,
Okay.
there's other
Wow.
better guys on the board. Shuck is a good quarterback. But yeah, I'm going Ted McMillan. Why not, Giants fans?
That's crazy. I like it a lot. Patriots at four. I think you had the right idea going offensive line. I think there was four offensive tackles that played better than Will Campbell this year.
Oh,
And luckily for the Patriots here at four, you already know how they've played. And Armand Membu had one of the best rookie seasons from a tackle we've seen in a long time. And I'm going to take Membu here. He's going to slide in at left tackle. Um, I like Membu a lot, wherever he is on the board.
yeah, I don't know where he is. That's what-
There he is.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Membu, he's a dog. He played fantastic this year for the Jets. Amazing in the run game. Got his feet underneath him after the first few weeks in the past game. He's just an absolute tank. He's an absolute monster. He would be amazing protecting Drake May if he wants to be a Patriot. I don't think he wants to be a Patriot.
He may. I mean, who wants to be a Jet if we're being so
Yeah.
real? I like
Yeah.
the Armand Membu pick here at four. That'll take us into the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, what do they need? I don't know what they need. I feel like they do need a running back. They probably still need a receiver now that Travis Hunter is not there. Technically, I could take him again. But I was not at all a fan of his first year. I don't like the way they used him at all. We talk about it. The experiment should be over. It's one or the other. You can't play him at both.
Yeah.
I think they should be playing him at corner more and maybe put him in certain packages. They did kind of the exact opposite. They played him more at receiver and then put packages in at corner. That's
Yeah.
just not going to work in the future. Um, So going down this list, I'll tell you a guy I'm not going to take. I'm not taking Shamar Stewart. I don't know if Shamar Stewart is going to be in the first round at all. If we're looking at this, uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Emeka Ibuka. I think this is a great spot for him. Better year. You know he's just a bona fide stud, and you know he's going to be here in the league for a very long time.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Makes a lot of sense to me. Played it, had a great year. Truly a guy that, would absolutely play his way into the top five conversation. Tailed off in the back half, but still played really well. One of the best rookies in this class. Here at six, this is an interesting pick because I can tell you it's not going to be. It's not going to be Ashton Genty. I can tell you who it is going to be. It is going to be Tyler Shuck for me.
Oh,
I think Tyler Shuck's I think he played really, really good. I loved watching him play. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft. I have him over Jackson Dart. Um, I like the tools, everything you said, we would all say coming out about him, but it was a lot better. The processing was better. The arm talent looked better. He looked like he had his feet underneath him. Played really well in New Orleans. If you can play good in New Orleans, I trust you to play all right with the Raiders. One bad franchise to another bad franchise, and so. In this experiment, Pete Carroll will still be there. But instead of having the number one pick spent on a quarterback, you're trading out of that pick, you're collecting assets, and you have your quarterback of the future with Tyler Shuck.
I'm shocked by that. I don't like that pick at all. I'll be honest with you. I
Whoa.
think Tyler Shuck is a good quarterback, but not here at six with the value that you can have. You can't tell me that if we were sitting here, obviously we've seen Tyler Shuck's first year, but you can't tell me that there would be better options in the next draft, like a Fernando Mendoza or like guys, even though we don't really know what that's going to pan out to be. Yeah, I think if we're looking at it for face value, I think Mendoza is better than Shuck. And I think he's going to have a better career with the Raiders in this mock scenario. But that doesn't matter because we're going to the Jets here, and this is the pick that they ended up there. There were two guys here. It was Membu or Tyler Warren. In this simulation, Membu's off the board. Tyler Warren is a New York Jet. Yeah, I mean, this was basically a toss-up at the time. They couldn't go wrong, really. They did a really good job. They picked a franchise tackle. You could have had a franchise tight end, though. But yeah, it's definitely going to be Tyler Warren, one of the great rookies from this class.
Yeah, played awesome. Everything he was supposed to be and more. What a player. At eight here, man, can you imagine if April of last year, we were doing a redraft and we were looking at the fact that we were doing this draft again, and Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, and Ashton Jeanty have not been drafted at pick number eight. That just shows you like how crazy the NFL is and how difficult of an adjustment it actually is. So here with the Panthers at eight, this is interesting. It has to be Abdul Carter, just BPA. He is so much better than the eighth player in this class. He was fantastic this year. He was, sack numbers weren't awesome, but everything else was great. And I trust that because he's such a good player, he was good at getting finishing the play in college. He's gonna be good at finishing the play here. He's still probably a top three player, top two player for me in this draft. And yeah, he's an absolute monster. He's going here at eight to the Panthers.
I love it. I think that's the exact, I mean, here, him being here at eight, the Panthers needing edge. Yeah, no brainer all day. And yeah, it comes to nine now with the Saints team, and they took tackle. They took Kelvin Banks. But I don't care because they're going to go straight back to tackle, and they're going to take the hometown kid, Will Campbell, in this situation, in this mock. Um,
Interesting.
really take it. Yeah, Louisiana to Louisiana. I think, yeah, Travis Hunter is tempting on the board, but don't get me wrong, Will Campbell was the bona fide superstar, number one offensive tackle coming into this. So if you get him at nine, I can't complain at all. That would be a great job by the
You think
Saints.
you're taking Campbell over Banks still, even after Bank the year that Banks had?
100%. Career wise, 100%.
Interesting. Okay. I don't mind it. Well, lucky for me, you made this very easy for me at 10. I'm taking Eman Wari. This team. Loveland played really well this year as a Bears fan. Like Loveland was a great pick. I was skeptical at first. A lot of people were skeptical at first, especially over Warren. But Loveland really came into his own. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league. Even Warren might be the best safety in the league. And having an opportunity to draft him here at 10, the way he played last year, the Bears defense, let them down a little bit this year. It wasn't an amazing defense. And so to build off of that, to continue to invest in that secondary, which all of those safeties are up for contract negotiations in free agency right now. And so to get that guy that's that talented in that defense is kind of a no-brainer for me here at 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something crazy. You're not gonna like it, but I'm
Oh
gonna
boy.
do it anyway. This is gonna be James Pierce Jr. to the 49ers at number 11. I think that yes, I was high on James Pierce Jr., higher than you were. I like the pick despite them trading a first rounder for it. Yes, I know you can give me that face, and I know YouTube will love it. But at the end of the day, I think that with what they had in the edge group, they took Michael Williams. That was not the guy. James Pierce Jr. would be the guy in the system. Robert Sala's not there anymore, but in Robert Sala's system, James Pierce Jr. would probably be one of his favorite weapons right next to Nick Bosa. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with that one. Um, yeah,
This is
it's
the
gonna be
same guy that's
questionable.
about to go to jail for like 20 years, right?
Yeah, but we don't
Okay.
know that in this mock.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's what we're
I'm
gonna go with.
yeah, okay, I'm there. He had character concerns coming out, so this isn't anything new.
We
I
we
got
all
him.
knew the character concerns. I don't know where he
Yeah.
is on this list. Can't find him.
I'll be a linebacker.
Um,
Oh, you already did linebacker. I don't know where he is.
he's somewhere in here.
James Pierce Jr. Let's see. There he is.
Yeah. I'm going with him at number 11. I may be shocking, but yeah. Number
Okay.
11, James Spears to the 49ers.
Mm. Okay, so this leaves me here. Booker was the pick. He played really well. I was very high on the pick as it happened. Played really well this year for them. It would be hard for them to move off of that, but Kelvin Banks is there. And Kelvin Banks had a fantastic year. So, with as good as he played, I'm going to take him here to the Cowboys. I think they could put him a tackle. There was always guard flexibility there. But just put him anywhere on that offensive line. I think he's one of the best young offensive linemen in the league, and getting that at 12 is an absolute steal.
Yep, that'll be a good pick for this Cowboys team. Shocked you didn't go Travis Hunter there.
Mm,
But at the same time, didn't have a great year. Somebody's got to take him eventually, right? Hopefully.
yeah.
I'll go to a pick that they botched. They really botched bad. They took defensive tackle here. They took Kenneth Grant. They're going to make up for that with a Mason Graham pick right here
Yeah.
at 13 for this Dolphins team. Yeah, I think that it's a no-brainer for them. Uh, Mason Graham had a really good year, overshadowed by kind of the Myles Garrett, everything, Carson Schlesinger on that defense that was shockingly good, that really good draft class on offense. But yeah, Mason Graham's going to be a stud in this league for a long time, and he's going to be a stud for the Miami Dolphins in our simulation.
14 here. I'm not going to make this one too complicated. Colson Loveland's there. Tyler Warren played great in that offense. They're different tight ends, but Colson Loveland was absolutely worthy of a top 10 pick last year. In the way that he played, he's absolutely worthy of the 14th pick here. They needed a tight end desperately. It was always the pick, whether it was Warren or Loveland at 14. They're going to take Loveland here. Easy peasy.
No shock there. And this is going to be a spot where, ironically, I'm going to pick the same player that they picked. This is still going to be Jalen Walker, 15 to the Falcons. I think Jalen Walker is going to be a stud in this league. I think he showed so many flashes on the defense. He was a real reason why the Falcons defense turned it on at the end. And yeah, I don't think you change anything. If it isn't broken, you don't fix it. You're going to keep it here with Jalen Walker at 15.
Hmm. This is interesting because, Walter Nolan played really well towards the end of the year last year. He played really good when he was healthy. Um, but Josh Simmons is on the board. And Josh Simmons was, my number 7 player in this class and played really well for the Chiefs when he was healthy. And they need a tackle.
Also need a receiver.
They do need a receiver. Hmm. I do still believe in Golden, not to take him here though. I'm going to take Josh Simmons. He's the best player available on the board for me right now. Um, they need a tackle. He's a really good one. This tackle class is going to be incredible 5 years down the line, looking back at all these guys that were in this draft with Connerly, who hasn't even gone yet, all the guys that have been taken. I'm going to take Josh Simmons here. They need a tackle. Get him in that building. I think it's going to be really good pick.
Very interesting there. Man, 17 with this Bengals team. Man, you could go down the list. I feel like we gotta get someone down here eventually because we have obviously had some studs. We haven't taken a running back yet,
Oh,
which is crazy because there are
Venti would be
some
crazy.
studs. I mean, Genty, Hampton, Judkins, Henderson. I mean, Scatteroo. You go down the list. I'm shocked we haven't taken any of them yet. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think this is the spot for a running back in a way. Um, I guess you could go Travis Hunter, but that's not really the play either. Um,
Walter Nolan is there. To get a D tackle on that defense would be good. I would also think
yeah.
I would also think about Schlesinger.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to go. I think I'm going Carson Schlesinger here at 17, which is shocking for the rookie of the year to go here. But yeah, that defense really needs it. They took Barrett Carter instead. They took another linebacker as well, or was it Demetrius Knight Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna take Carson Schlesinger here, and he's gonna fill out what their double rookie linebacker class did last year.
I mean, that defense gets so much better just off of that one pick. Having him in that room. You might have taken my pick for
Oh,
18,
okay.
because I would have loved to give y'all him. But how do you not go Zabel here with how good he was last year? Guy that's going to be the prop. He's a rookie, and I already feel like he's going to live his whole career as a Seahawk. Like, fits so perfectly. No way I'm passing up on him at here at 18. You hammer the pick. You nailed it last year, A plus pick, and you're going to take it again if he's here.
100%. Yep, Gray's able going to go there. And this is going to be an interesting one because they took Emeka Ibuka at 19 last year. That's what the Bucks did. They didn't really need a receiver. They threw him in. They took BPA, obviously. Now, do you just take BPA once again here? And I think you do. I think Travis Hunter, the slide stops here. Travis Hunter is going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer at 19. I think I still trust his skill set. If they're looking at him at a corner, they need a corner and a receiver. But I think in this scenario, you look at him as a corner. And yeah, he can complement what they got on that Bucks defense really well.
I think if we did if it's 2028 and we're doing a redraft of this year, I think Travis Hunter is going to go a lot higher than this. I have a feeling that this is, we're there's no way we could do anything different because the year wasn't great and it was injury ridden. But down the line, I feel like he's going to make up for a lot of the stock that he has lost this year. 20 here. This was my favorite pick for the Broncos the whole year, and it was Genty if he fell this far. And if it wasn't him, it would have been Hampton. But since Genty's here, I fully trust that he's going to get back on his feet with the Raiders if they can surround him with some talent, especially on that offensive line. He's a good running back, like he is. Picturing the Broncos, Barron didn't play that important of a role for that defense this year. I trust that he's going to grow into a role. I think that they had a plan for him. I don't think they're expecting him to come in and be a super impactful player year one. Genty would be an incredible impact on this team year one. Having him on that offense with Bo Nix and Sean Payton is incredible. Slam dunk pick. I don't care that his rookie season wasn't great. Like this pick would be amazing.
Yeah, they if they had Ashton Genty, they may have gotten blown out by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl instead of sitting at home after losing to the Patriots. I'll say that. Yeah, this will move us into a team that took Derek Harmon here at 21. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with what's on the board and kind of what I'm thinking about their team, I'm going to go to the well at running back again. And I'm going to take Quinshon Judkins. Yeah, they didn't really have, they had Jalen Warren who played really well. Other than that, they had Gainwell catching passes as one of their primary, pass catchers. But yeah, if you put Quinshon Judkins next to DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I think they would have had a lot better of a year on that Steelers team. Maybe could have beat the Texans in that first playoff game. But yeah, we're going to go Judkins here at 21.
I love it. I had a first round grade on him. I was very high on him last year. Love to see that he's playing well. 22 here. This is interesting. I'm tempted to go running back with Hampton still here. I fully believe that he's going to end up being a really good player in that system. Injury-ridden year, never really fully got on his feet. Fully expect that as he grows, he will. But Tyler Booker being here kind of feels wrong, as good of a season as he had for the Cowboys. And the Chargers really need help on that interior. I'm going to take Tyler Booker here. Get yourself a guard that's going to be there for a long time. You now have an incredible three, um, studs on that offensive line with the best tackle duo in the league, and Tyler Booker at whatever guard position you want to put him at.
Absolutely. That's a great pick. Going to the Packers, man, they missed on this pick, and I'll hammer it again. Matthew Golden was a terrible pick. I don't think he's going to be good in this league. I mean, he had 300 and a handful of yards. He had one good game all year. Bad pick by them, but they have a chance to redeem themselves here. And do they go receiver again? That's a good question. We'll kind of see what other receivers had good years. Yeah, I don't know if I would go receiver here. You had some guys who showed flashes, but they really should have taken. I was shocked that they didn't. Was corner. And looking at the guys on the board, I'm gonna trust my gut here, and I'm gonna take Will Johnson at 23. I don't know why he slid in the pre-draft or the during the draft. He should have been a first round pick. It was an abomination that he wasn't, but he'll be a first round pick in our simulation. It's going to be Will Johnson to the Packers at 23.
Love it. Surprised he didn't go sooner. 24 here might be another corner. His team really struggled at corner this year. Last year, when Donovan Jackson, he played really well. Another guard that played really well on the team that he went to. I like the corners here at the spot. Barron's still here. Benjamin Morrison's still here. Who had an up and down year for the Bucks. He didn't play amazing. I'm gonna throw you a curveball, and I'm gonna go Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre
Oh,
Dame
okay.
Falcons. Was in the running for the defensive rookie of the year conversation. You know, everything he was in college, absolute ball hawk, amazing in coverage, played really well in the box when they were asked him to, and played and tackled really well. I had a first round grade on him as well last year. If maybe not a firm first round, but it was somewhere in the 30 to 40 range. And another really good player that played really well. I think they need help in that secondary. Really like this pick. They would be really happy if they had Xavier Watts on their team.
That's an awesome replacement for Harrison Smith, who I think he's done with them. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now moving on to the Texans. Texans can go a bunch of different directions here. I mean, the eye-popping thing, yeah, you see all of the numbers here for offensive tackle and interior offensive line as their needs. They did take two receivers. I don't think I there's anybody worthy on this list to go guard or offensive tackle. So I'm gonna have to pivot back, and I may just pick the best player available. And I'm thinking about the defensive line. I'm thinking about the guys over there. Man, and it's tough, but I do think I, I do trust that the defensive tackle position they're still lacking in a way, and that's why I think. Let me just look real quick just to make sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna still trust Kenneth Grant at this spot.
Over
He didn't.
Nolan?
Yes,
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think so. I think Kenneth Grant, they both do a little bit of different things. I feel like Kenneth Grant was more that nose tackle, and Walter Nolan, you can move him to defensive end if you really wanted. But yeah, I think Kenneth Grant, even though he had a bad season, that whole defense in Miami was kind of all over the place. I mean, good one week, bad the next. I'm going to trust that in a better system with a better, you know, defensive minded head coach, that he'll figure it out with this Texans team at 25.
I like it. It's a good pick. 26 for Rams here. Interesting. Um, this was um man, this is a tough pick. Where do I want to go here? Um, Corners here, Barron's here. I like that idea of getting him in on that defense. Um, I mean, it's kind of a win-win because they didn't make this pick last year. This was the James Pierce trade pick. Um,
That's true.
yeah, I'm gonna strengthen that corner room with Barron. I'm surprised he's still here. Just a guy that I trust. I think is very talented. Didn't have a great year, but they didn't ask him to do a lot. The defense was really, really good. And I think he's gonna grow. I think he's gonna continue to step up his game. I'm gonna take him here, strengthen that secondary. They're gonna need a corner this year, and getting him in that room kind of takes care of a future need. I like that a lot. I think that yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a money pick for the Rams. Something that they lacked towards the end of the year. They could have really had an extra guy. All right, now moving on to the Ravens. Where do I go here? There's so many different ways we could put this. Is it going to be an offensive pick? I don't know. I don't really think so. Um, we could look at the defense. Also, yeah, it's probably going to be a defensive pick. They do need edge in this scenario. They also do need safety.
Yeah.
And Malachi Starks is the guy that they took at this spot. And while he didn't have the year I was expecting him to have, I think he's going to still be a star for the team. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stay put with Malachi Starks at 27 for the Ravens, and I'm going to select him here. No change in the forecast for them. They're going to still select him if he was available today in our mock simulation at 27.
I like that a lot. That's the same pick I would make. Everything you said, I echo that. Like he didn't have a great year, but just trusting that that defense is going to get the most out of him, especially with Jesse Minter in there now. I have a feeling he's going to have a really good second year. 28 here. I think they had the right idea at defensive tackle. I know you love the Tyleik Williams pick, but
Love it so much.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm going to take Walter Nolan here. Guy that struggled with injuries this year, but played really well when he was healthy. Did everything he was asked to do. Really good pass rusher, contributed enough in the run game. I think if you can get that on that defensive line next to Hutch, next to those other guys, you get a player that's going to be really, really good for that defense for a long time.
I'm shocked you didn't go Michael Williams there. Um, that's going to
Mhm.
leave us in 29 for this Washington Commanders team. And this is where I'm going to switch it up. And this is where running back goes off the board. And this is where Trevion Henderson is a Washington Commander. At 29, they had a
Whoa.
bunch of nobodies in that backfield, and we weren't really sure what they were doing. And they like to share the ball. And I know that Trevion Henderson wasn't used in the way that we thought he should be used. But I feel like in the Commanders system, maybe you can have some tires on the tread with some other guys in there to kind of help with him. But yeah, I'm going to pick Trevion Henderson over Amarian Hampton, over Cam Scatterboo in this spot right here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would have taken Hampton there for sure. I just trust him more as a bell cow, I think. Um, but yeah, that's a good pick. That would make that room so much better. I am gonna. This one's really easy for me. You're not gonna like this one, but I'm taking Matthew Golden here at 30. They need a separator, and he can separate. They did not. The Packers did not use him at all the way they should have this year. It was absolutely awful, and they finally remembered when their season was on the line. Like, oh wait, we spent a first round pick on a receiver. Let's throw him the ball. And he was great when they threw him the ball. It's really weird how that happens. He's going to be a good player. I cannot wait for, a year from now after his second, and I hate it because it's Packers, but I can't wait for a year from now, like looking back on this and you saying how terrible he's going to be, and he's going to be freaking awesome. I love Matthew Golden. He's going to be a great player for the Packers. I think they're just allergic to wide receiver ones, but they're stuck with one now, and Matthew Golden's going to be really good for them next year, and he's going to be good for the Bills in this situation. Good separator. They have a lot of size in that room. They don't have anybody that's twitchy enough to separate. Matthew Golden can do that.
Yeah, man, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. He's undersized. He had a wide open receiver room. Watson was hurt. I mean, Reed got hurt early in the season. They had nobody in the room. They had like Wicks, Dobbs. Like those are guys that number one overall pick in the first round. Like you should be beating those guys out. And he did nothing with that. And I know he was hurt for a little bit, but it's a shame. I hope that he proves us wrong, proves me wrong, proves you right. But I just don't see it right now, and I'm sorry. That'll move us in to this Chiefs team, and man, look at the Chiefs use here. And I feel like this could be a reach pick if we keep scrolling and scrolling. And I'm trying to think of the really good guys from this year. I think the Chiefs could really have any help from all around. But I'm gonna go something
Connerly is
shocking.
still there, is like the one thing I'd throw out. He did play well for the Commanders this year, and they need a
Yeah, but
tackle.
I would pass on that, and I'm taking Harold Fandon right here. I think that you pick your replacement
Ooh,
for Travis Kelce in this
yeah.
spot. Harold Fandon had a really good year. I really liked him at a Bowling Green last year. But yeah, we'll sneak him in to the first round here at number 31 to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love that pick because the whole thing about Fannin is that he is not built like a tight end because he kind of moves like a receiver, but he's too big to play receiver. He's not an athlete. Does that sound familiar? Does anybody in the NFL over the last 10 years has been the last best tight end over the last 10 years sound like that? Like that's literally Travis Kelce. So to get Fannin in there is awesome. That is a super great pick. They should have done it last year. I don't know why they didn't. He fell way too far. You and me were both higher than he ended up going. Um, hmm. Eagles here. This is easy. I'm taking Connerly. He played great for the, I mean, he played well for the Commanders. He played better than Will Campbell did over the most of the year. And so I'm taking him here. The Eagles, for some reason, those tackles just I think it's just hitting a lot of people now that they actually have to move on from those tackles. Something about aging. They're going to need to replace them both soon. Get Connolly, let him sit for a year, and have him develop, and then have your left tackle of the future. The Commanders had when he was in there for them, played well, and I think he's going to be really great. It would be really great in that Eagles room.
Fair enough. That'll move us into the second round of this redraft. And I'm going to get Cam Ward a weapon in our simulation. And it's going to be, ooh, it's going to be Cam Scatterboo. Let's mess around with it. Cam Scatterboo over Marion Hampton in this situation because that's just the
Oh,
Browns thing to do. And this is pre-injury Cam Scatterboo. So
all
yeah,
right.
he's going to mix super well with Browns country or whatever they got going on, the dog pound, whatever they call it. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo, why not?
I like it. I'm taking Hampton here because the Giants relied on Scottaboo a lot. He's really great for them. I think Hampton's going to be a better back than Scottaboo was this year, long term. And getting Hampton here, 34, who was I think a top 13 player on my board last year. Just struggled with injuries. Feel like we're saying that a lot about a lot of these guys in this draft class, but I fully believe that as soon as he gets his feet underneath him, he's an absolute bell cow back, and will be really good in this league for a long time.
100%. There's no doubt about it. Looking on here to this Titans team, what could the Titans use after selecting Jackson Dart with the number one overall pick? They could definitely use a weapon, but there's better guys on defense, in my opinion, and they kind of needed everything, this team. There is a guy who is available who ended up having his first year cut short, but this is not that way in the simulation. It's going to be Michael Williams that I'm going to take here. Really good edge rusher and kind of fits really well into what the Titans could have used.
I like it. Didn't have the year they were looking for, but getting bodies on that line will be great for them. 36 here for the Jags. Hmm. Where did we go in the first round for them?
The
Uh,
Jaguars took Emeka Egbuka.
okay. Then I'm gonna take Maxwell Hairston and get the instead of only having Travis Hunter to play both positions, you have a really good corner or you have a good corner and a really good receiver. So now you actually have two separate players that can play every snap on their own side of the ball, because that's how football should work. And yeah, so I think the Jags will be pretty happy with that one. Maxwell, had an up and down year for the Bills. Again, struggled with injuries, but had a pick, had a couple interceptions. Yeah, I think he's going to develop well. I wasn't super high on him coming out, and he was kind of the guy we expected him to be this year. And I think that's a guy that's worthy of the 36th pick in this redraft.
Yeah, that's a really good pick for this Jaguars team. This will take us into 37 here for the Raiders. They already took Tyler Shuck according to P Dunn. So that means that we gotta find him either a weapon or another guy to play with. Um, you know, I'm gonna go to a dude that I really loved. I think he had a really good year. Um, if we can find him on this list. I think that in this scenario, I think you go ahead and you take, where is he at? I know he's here somewhere. Nick Scorton. I want to take Nick Scorton here.
Yeah, that's
I like Nick Scorton a lot. I don't know where he is in this list, but he's somewhere here. Yeah, he ended up going to the Panthers. And yeah, that was a great pick for them, especially with them taking Tet first. in that first round. But yeah, we're gonna take him right here, send him to the Raiders, see how his career pans out.
I like it a lot. That was a guy that you and me both were much higher on than consensus. Can't believe he fell that far. Played really well for the Panthers. Shocker. Who could have seen that coming? 38 here. Ooh. All right. You threw a curveball with James Pierce Jr. I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I know you already probably know where I'm going. I'm taking Shamar Stewart here. Um, I know it was bad. Like I know it was bad. I know it was a bad year, but I cannot unsee the stuff I saw from his film coming out of college. And a lot I just really struggle placing the blame on him because he's a Bengal and that organization is so dysfunctional. And it's hard for me to be like, okay, this was a player I was very high on coming out. You know, I'll take my losses. He was a top 10 player for me. Like I was really high on him. But I think that they really screwed him over and he never got his feet underneath him. He's going to be a bust. Hopefully, in this different scenario, the Patriots can develop him, get him in a culture, a good room, a good culture, a good team that's going to be able to work with him. And there's going to be a different outcome there because I think he's a really talented player. Everything I saw at A&M is still in there. You just need someone that's going to be able to bring it out of him, and I think Vrabel would in this situation.
I don't hate that at all. Actually, I just think he's a bust. But yeah, I mean, I like every talking point that you mentioned. Yeah, hopefully they can try to get it out of him. Why not? Yeah, we're gonna move into this 39 pick for the Bears, and Jahad Campbell is on the board. They do need a linebacker. I know it isn't in their listed needs. Technically, they pick in two picks. But yeah, I'm going to take Jahad Campbell before anybody else can take him. Enough's
Yeah.
really to say there. We thought he was going to be the real steal of the draft. He didn't end up panning out first year to be that after he went 31 to the Eagles. But I think he's got a really promising career once he gets his feet under him. Yeah, so let's put that pick in.
40 here. Ezraku's still on the board. That doesn't really feel right. He played so well as a DPR for the Cowboys. I'm gonna take him here. This feels pretty easy. Get them some pass rush. Yeah, Donovan Ezraku to the Saints makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we really liked him coming out. That's for sure. I'm trying to think of guys for this Bears team, second pick around. Trying to think of guys that really had an impact this year. Um, they haven't taken the running back that they kind of need. Let's see what running backs would be available. Are there any guys?
If they were in this position, I think they'd draft Monunga again,
Yeah,
even even though he's the
yeah,
seventh round.
yeah. I'm gonna harp off you here. Kyle Monangai, 233rd overall. Yeah, we're gonna take him here. Just knowing what we got from him last year. I love that call out, Peyton.
He was incredible for that team towards the back half of the season. And I think that if they were in that situation, like they would just say, like, there's no way I'm not there's no way they're letting him fall. Jets here. I'm gonna take Derek Harmon for sure. I can't believe he's still here. Played really well for the Steelers. This is how drafts work. People fall, guys fall. Yeah, I like Harmon to the Jets. Get somebody on that interior, especially how things went. Yeah, I think the Jets would be very happy if they ended up with Derek Harmon and Tyler Warren.
Awesome pick. I took James Pierce Jr. for the Niners earlier. But now at 43, what could they need possibly? Well, I don't know. We got to go to the board. Let's see. Trying to think of guys for this Niners team. Just looking down the list. It starts to get really slim here in terms of who can really be a second round pick. Because a lot of these second round picks didn't do anything crazy this year. There were some good, but nothing. I'm trying to think of guys in like the fifth round who I'm
Ooh,
definitely
Deion
forgetting about.
Walker. Deion Walker right there. He played
Yeah,
awesome for the Bills this year.
but I'm not going to take him there. I don't think that. I just don't have that feeling. Let's go with. Oh man, they're definitely gonna make us think here. I'm gonna take a guy who I didn't like, but I think at this spot is a good pick for him, Tyleik Williams. I feel like with the Niners, he would have a little bit better of a gist of things, and I think he would slot really well into that defensive line.
I like it. That makes a lot of sense. Cowboys went offensive line first round, and I'm gonna take. Where do I want to go here? I'm gonna get no. Can you show me the running backs?
Of course.
Anybody left? The running backs that I like. Not really. This is tough. They went um they went as a rocket with this pick. I think this was as a rocket pick. And so you got a lot out of him as an edge rusher. What edges are on the board right now? Oh, dang.
That's not all of them.
I was gonna say that's probably not it. Um, this is
I don't know
tough.
why it's doing that.
I'm gonna take Deion Walker. I think he
Okay.
played so good, such a freak athlete, and had good production this year. I think if this was yeah, I think in this redraft format, I think going here at 44 is a steal. He played awesome. The Cowboys should be very happy about this one.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. The Colts, what did they take? They took what was it? It was I think it was Loveland in our redraft here.
Yeah, they took
Yeah, so
Loveland.
this I don't know why it's not crossed out, but it don't matter because the Colts, man, I feel like they need a linebacker. And yeah, I don't know how many good linebackers we have left on our list here that are
We got
worthy.
Sykes there. He played well.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of other guys that they could have. Is there any interior guys who are worth it?
Jackson's there.
You said who? Jackson?
Donovan Jackson, Ohio State kid.
Yeah, that's exactly who I'm going to go with. Donovan Jackson all day long. I mean, you need that interior. He got drafted to the Minnesota Vikings. He didn't really pan out in that system year one, but I trust that his Ohio State background is going to propel him to a second contract with hopefully the Colts in this scenario.
46 here. Where do I want to go? Um,
Took Jalen Walker last pick.
okay. Um, then I'm gonna go Luther Burden at this pick.
Okay,
Played well
I
for the
like that.
Bears. Um, pair him with London and Bijan. Whether your next quarterback is Penix, whether it's somebody in this, whatever your next quarterback is going to be, get Burden in there, and you have a really good ground for whatever quarterback's going to come into that system.
All day long. I love that. Going to the Cardinals here at 47. They took Josh Simmons last time. I think they take JT Tui here. I think Tui had a really good year. And man, if you can get him as an edge, really, he was up there in sack numbers with some of the greats in the whole NFL, if you will. But yeah, you take him here, it's a really good steal.
Yeah, I like that. Bengals. Dolphins here. This one's easy for me. BMO's still on the board. I'm taking Benjamin Morrison. Liked him so much coming out of Notre Dame. Such a good man corner. The Dolphins absolutely need more guys in that room. And yeah, I'm definitely taking him here to the Dolphins.
Yeah, we loved him coming out, especially his film versus Marvin Harrison. That was something awesome to see. Bengals, Bengals, man. We had him taking Schlesinger, which was a really good pick at 17, really a steal, if you will. Other guys on this list that can come in and do something similar. I'm not sure. I want to look at the safety room. Got to be some good safeties, dude. There's got to be some better safeties. Yeah, I'm going to take Andrew Makuba. I
Yeah.
think that's the good guy that I want. We liked him a lot, and he had a really underrated year with that Philly team.
Yep. Hawks at 50. This is sprint and Jalen Milrow, no brainer. Not gonna pay dividends year one, gonna pay dividends down the road. Have to make sure he's a Seahawk.
Cannot wait for that day. It's going to be awesome. Um, Now to the Broncos. The Broncos, I think this is where you take Jaden Higgins. I think you get a big body receiver and you add to this already stacked offense that they are starting to roll out through this rookie draft class.
All right, let's see. What do we want here? Can you show me the receiver board?
Of course.
Uh, ooh, yeah, give me Io Manor here. This was a guy that
Yeah.
I think should have gone earlier. I think would pair really well with so well with JSN. Him on the outside at X with Cup as the field, JSN moving around. That would be an amazing three receiver combo. No idea why he went as late as he did. Hawks would love to have him in that receiver room.
That would be really neat just to see that happen. We'll move on here to the Buccaneers. What could the Buccaneers take here? Let's think. I'm gonna go guy. I'm gonna go Mike Green here. I think he was the guy that dropped. He should have been higher. He had a pretty good year for the Ravens. In this mock scenario, this is the steal of the draft.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, should have gone higher for sure. Packers here. Hmm. So no receiver in this situation. I'm going to take Trey Harris here, a guy that I still believe in. Didn't have a great year for the Chargers. Think he's going to develop for sure. They need their Romeo Dobbs replacement as he's hitting free agency. And I trust Trey Harris will be that in that offense.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope he started to come on towards the end of the year, which is really cool to see. But they kind of had a wide open but loaded room at the same time. I'm pretty sure this was the Trey Harris pick at 55. We're gonna look into it for this Chargers team that ended up taking Tyler Booker as their first pick. So they're in the market for kind of anything here. The question is, do you go receiver? I don't think you do. I think the guys already came with the board that you needed. I'm gonna trust my gut. I'm gonna go Ursery. I don't care if they double up on the offensive line. They kind of need it. I think he's by far the best player on the board right now.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, I don't think you can really go wrong with that.
Makes sense to me. All right, Bills at 56 here. This is interesting. I'm going to go Tate Ratledge, get some depth on that offensive line. I think a guy that played really well for the Lions last year, they could use some depth on that interior. And when you get into the second round, you're not getting the highest quality players, but you're getting guys that are going to make your team better. I definitely think that he's going to make their team and their interior a lot better.
Yeah, love that pick. For the same reasons that he went to, where did he go to? Did he go to the Lions or the Bengals?
Hey, what's the Lions?
Yeah, Lions. All right. I like this pick at 57 for this Panthers team. Let's see what they have so far. So far, we got the Panthers Abdul Carter, and they have another pick. I thought they did.
Guess not.
No, I guess not. I guess this was where Scorton went,
Yeah.
which is a crazy steal, unreal. So that we already have the edge. So what can this Panthers team do receiver wise? I am gonna go Isaac Tesla. I believe that he showed enough
Yeah.
where he's got the flashes, where if you can actually play him and develop him, he's basically like their secret weapon. But if you could play him more and develop him in year two, yeah, he's going to be a player. I mean, he's got that unbelievable catchability, large radius. I mean, he can hold his own. He made some crazy one-handed catches for the Lions. But yeah, in this simulation, 57 overall, Tesla is going to be a Panther.
Like it. I'm going to take Jalen Noel here for the Texans, pick that they made a little bit later. But, the guy that they took at this pick is not here, the other Iowa State receiver. And I'm going to take him here. I think this was a really good player for them, filled in that receiver room really nicely, a player that was underdrafted and is now going about where he should at the end of the second round.
No doubt about it for him. Ravens now on the board, and the Ravens, what do they do? They ended up taking, well, they took the guy that they took, and I'm pretty sure this is where they took Mike Green last time. Mike Green is not available in this simulation, which means we gotta kind of make up some room with some guys here. I'm trying to think of what they missed, who could fill a role, kind of what they need in a way. I'm just kind of looking down the board.
Princely.
Yeah, I was about to say it. I'm going Princely. I think Princely, yeah, he was unbelievable with the Panthers this year, and I think that with the Ravens, he would be equally as good, if not better.
Yeah, like it a lot. Lions here. I want to go offensive line, but I don't know what the best value here is. Savonaya did not play well in the beginning of the year, but he did play better towards the back half with the Dolphins. I'm gonna go Savonaya here. For them, he's gonna play guard for the Lions. What Tate Ratledge did for them is where Savonaya is gonna play. A guy that was, I wasn't super high on coming out, but played better at the back half for the Dolphins this year, and I'm going to trust that the Lions are going to get a good usage out of him too.
All day long with him. Going now to the Commanders and Commanders team where let's see really what is truly on the board for them. I'm trying to think of guys, and yeah, I mean my eyes go straight to the tight end, and you can do a bunch of things with tight end here. I think I'm going to go with. I mean, these guys, the three very different tight ends.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go pre-injured Elijah Arroyo in this slot. I think, yeah, he has the ability to be a great tight end in this league. I like Terrace Ferguson and his usage in their Big 13 personnel out in LA. I like Mason Taylor and the flashes he showed, but I'm just gonna trust Elijah Arroyo a little bit more as just a playmaker.
nice. I like that. Bills here. Hmm, what do we got here? Oh, Shamar. Oh, I'm gonna take Trey Amos. Still here. They do not end up with Harrison in this pick. Get Trey Amos. I think he fits their mold of what they want at corner a little bit better, actually, anyway. So I like Amos here at 62 for the Bills.
All day long. Rounding it out with the last two picks of this second round, it's going to be the Chiefs at 63. The Chiefs last time around, they took Harold Fannin. They're going to stay with the position, guys, and they desperately need a running back. And this is where Woody Marks is going to come off the board, and he's going to slip really well into this running back room that really underperforms. He shows flashes. I really like his game. He's going to be a good running back for a decent amount of time.
Nice. Final pick of this draft for the Eagles. For a team that goes BPA a lot, I'm going to continue to go BPA. I'm going to take Oman Norman Lott here, a guy that I liked a lot, no pun intended, coming out of Tennessee as a third down package. Really great pass rush guy. Chiefs played pretty well for them. Still kind of a crowded room. I feel like he's going to get his feet underneath him over the next few years. Eagles take a guy that is going to fit well into their rotation, and they could use some defensive tackles, just some more to fill out that depth. The Eagles are deep everywhere, but they get deeper at defensive tackle with Omar Norman Lott here.
No doubt about it. And here it is. It's going to show on the screen for you what we're seeing here. And yeah, we'll just look at the recap, man. We took Jackson Dart number one, Cam Ward number two. So a little bit of a discrepancy with the quarterbacks. The other quarterback that went was Tyler Shuck at six. I don't agree with it. P Dunn loves it. Some receivers went early. Tet McMillan, Emeka Egbuka went number three, number five. Of course, the notable one, Travis Hunter, didn't go to pick 19. Um, really looking down the board, Genty went at 20. He dropped all the way to 20. And then Judkins at 21. Some really similar picks. Jalen Walker went where he was originally supposed to go. Grade Zabel went where he was originally supposed to go. Malachi Starks went where he was originally supposed to go. One of my favorite picks in this was the Harold Fanning pick at 31. I really like that pick. Pete, what do you think about the second round?
Yeah, second round here, I think it's interesting that the Giants end up with Hampton. I think that's an upgrade from Scadaboo, personally. I think he would fit in that room really well. T-Mac and Hampton and Neighbors in the same offense is bonkers if that would
Yeah.
actually happen. That's insane. The Bears ended up with Campbell, Eman Worry, and on that defense is also insane. That would be incredible seeing those guys run around together. BMO to the Dolphins, I think would be incredible if that could happen in real life. I think he'd fit very well as their CB1. And then yeah, DPR guy with Mike Green for the Bucks would be awesome. I think he'd fit really well into their rotation. Um, yeah, this was a fun one, man. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Was there anything that you did not like in terms of picks? Obviously, I didn't like the Shuck pick, but on my end for those odds, is there a pick that you just don't agree with?
Yeah, Campbell at 9. I think he's worthy of a pick in that range. There is no way you could do that simulation 100 times. And if I'm the GM of the Saints and I'm after the way this year has gone and I have Campbell and Banks right next to each other, I'm taking Banks every day of the week. I think they killed that pick. I think when he was one of the best players in the league or rookies in the league this year, and played amazing at tackle for them. But I mean, I understand the Campbell pick, but I would definitely take Banks there.
Very, very interesting. We'll see how YouTube and what they think of our redraft. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a fun one, and maybe we'll do this with some older classes, especially since the 2024 class was really our opening class in terms of being on the internet and really posting about draft stuff, working as a group, as partners on that draft. I remember we were on the bus after a baseball game where we did that mock draft, and that really kicked off this entire vision. Just such a cool thing, and man, we hope that the 2026 draft could be as good as this 2025 one because man, this was loaded when you look at it. I'm your host, Niko Chambers, Niko the Draft Guy, Pete on the Draft Guy alongside me. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, stay tuned for the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft, and free agency, and every NFL event that comes your way because we are your one stop shop for everything NFL. We thank you guys.